Okay, this is the second part of the 12 p.m. Zoom. My Wi-Fi quit on me and cut off the first one, which means I can't resume that one directly. So I'm going to pick it up because I like these things to last at least 30 to 45 minutes. Prove to my bosses I'm actually earning my money. So I'm going to work a few more problems here. And we'll have two Zoom sessions. We'll pick up where the first one left off. We'd finished 9B. 9C, if Gallup claims the results of the survey indicate 8% of adult Americans believe divorce is acceptable, this is off page 69, 9C. Say the statement is the descriptive or inferential. Well, basically, if you think about descriptive, basically it gives facts. And inferential takes results from a sample and draws conclusions about a population. So if they're saying that 8% of adult Americans, they're making a conclusion about the population. They're saying 8% of adult Americans believe divorce is acceptable in certain situations. You'd have to say that's inferential. They're making a conclusion about the American population. Okay. And they don't really know that. They haven't surveyed all Americans. All right. 11's about Made in America. 13 is, I think we did some of 13 on the last Zoom. Why don't we try 15? This is a survey, 1,025 randomly selected adult Americans, randomly sampled adult Americans, asked how much time at all do you personally spend using the internet? Categories they give them are more than an hour a day. Let's see, up to an hour a day, a few times a week, a few times a month, or less, or never. So draw our frequency distribution table. All right, greater than 1 hour, I'll abbreviate this, up to 1 hour, a few times a week, a few times a month, never. How much time do you personally spend using the internet? And so then on frequencies 377, 92, 132, 81, and 243. And this, by the way, is off page 70. Okay, a relative frequency distribution. Construct relative frequency distribution. All right, that would be the next column. And they told us it's 1,025. I'm going to trust that, not add these up. We'll trust that they've done that right. So I've got to divide each of those. They gave us a total nodes. They had not had to add them up. 377 divided by 1,025. 367, we'll call it 0.37. 192 divided by 1,025. 0.19. Okay. Clear off. Call it 0.19. Used 187 would be probably 1.8. like I say, there's a fudge factor in all of this. Let's see, next one's 132 divided by 1025. I'll call that 0.13. 81 divided by 1025. I used, that's probably close enough, but I'll do it exactly. 81 divided by 1025. 1079, 0.08. And never is 243 divided by 1025, which comes up 0.24. Let the picture catch up. So this entire column is the answer to part A. Okay, B. What proportion never use the internet, or you can say percent never, would be 24%. Significant, well, at least in this survey, a quarter of the people, in effect, a quarter of the people say they never use the internet. Part C, a frequency bar graph. So we would do a graph. And again, there's an art to this, but greater than 1 hour, up to 1, a few times a week, a few times a month, never. Again, since they're labels, you can put them in any order. And you'll want to label the vertical according to the frequency numbers. I guess I'll go up to 400 since the largest is 377. About 100, 300, and 400. So 377 is close to 400. 192 is close to 200. A few times a week is 132. That's a little more than 100. The month is only 81. That's close to 100. Never 243 is almost halfway between 200 and 300. Just kind of guesstimate the heights best you can. D wants a relative frequency bar graph. Same thing on the bottom. Week, a few times a month, and never. Get more on the screen. You want scaled up to 1. So how about scaled up to 1? So 0.25, 0.75, and 1. Really only need to go up to 0.4. 0.37. 0.19. 0.13 is even shorter. month is 0.08 and 0.24, short of 0.25. All right, if I try to pay a little more attention to making the scales a little, gone up to 0.37 or whatever, to 0.4 or whatever, I could have made it look exactly like this one. But you can see the resemblance. The heights of the bars and the relative heights of the bars are very similar. Pie chart. Draw a circle. And reach back to the previous 0.37. Bigger than a quarter. 0.25, 0.37 would be bigger. That would be greater than 1. 0.9 is just short of point. It might be you're up to 1 hour. You're 0.13, another sliver. That might be a few times a week. 0.08, smaller sliver, a few times a month. And you see the rest is a little bigger than a quarter. Well, actually not quite a quarter, never. Tough by hand to scale it off exactly, but Excel or the computer program will make you nice pretty pie charts and bar charts and everything. F. Again, they're going for something here, and I'm not sure what they're going for here. Local news broadcast reported 37% of adult Americans use the internet more than 1 hour a day. What is wrong with this statement? Well, isn't the 37%, wasn't that the first? It's in for, yeah, that's the first thing, more than 1 hour a day. Basically it's inferential. They really have no basis behind it. They're drawing the conclusion from this sample. The book says it has no confidence, no level of confidence. I don't know why they're bringing that in, no level of confidence. We don't start talking about confidence till chapter 9. How you're supposed to know to use the word confidence. That's a very loaded statistics word. Right now, I have no idea, but basically it just means that there's nothing behind it. It's inferential. You're making the leap from this survey to the entire population. I tend to try to avoid questions like that on the test. All right, well, this video is going to come at you in 2 parts then. And so most of the rest of the questions are very, very similar. I am doing another video or Zoom session at 9 o'clock tonight. Maybe the Wi-Fi will work better, we'll hope. So we'll end this session and hopefully maybe you'll come out 9 o'clock tonight.